All right, y'all, welcome back in the shop again. You guys have been patient. I got to give you guys that. We've been talking about, hey, we got to do a lot of work. We got to make a bunch of changes before we go to the track. And it's the night before. Matt right here, Matt the Prophet, absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it. Guys, I just want to take a second and give Matt a huge shout out. You guys have been commenting down below. Matt is a huge asset to the team, to the program. One of my, unfortunately, I call him one of my good friends. I prefer not to, but kind of stuck with him. Right now, he is wrapping up on finishing rewiring the Black Sheep. Really, about 3 days, rewired the whole car front to back. Every single wire on the car, all this extra data, and not only did he just wire it, it's a whole custom harness for everything. Engine harness, chassis harness, transmission harness. Absolutely insane. So if everyone can do me a huge favor, go and check out Matt's Instagram, give him a follow, give him a like some of his photos, check him out, because that'd be like a big thank you. All you guys say you want to see us back at the track. Matt is helping us get back to the track, so thank him for getting us there. Go check out his Instagram, and let's blow him up. Let's blow Matt up. Let's make it happen. So I already heard I'm so excited I can't talk. I already heard the car fire up. All right, we're gonna give Travie Patty. Travis is behind the camera right now and been here all day. It's Saturday. The race got rained out, pushed back to Sunday. So when you guys see this at noon, hop in your car and drive down to Red Springs because we're going to be running all night. 28's Gone Wild. Don't want to miss it. Thunder Valley, Red Springs. Be there today. You guys are going to see this video at noon. Grab your stuff, grab your wife, grab your kids, head to the track. We will not have any merchandise there. We're solely going there to race. We'll be there with the Black Sheep. Matt will be there with MK Ultra. It's going to be an awesome race. Shannon, Bloodbath Racing is going to be there. The whole Small Walk Ford Nasty crew is going to be there. But Travis is behind the camera. He's been here helping us out all day. Detailed the smart car. Organized the trailer. Just helped us with a bunch of stuff. Helped put the Bad Apple back together. So to Travis, everyone just realize there's a lot of people behind the scenes that make this stuff happen. Anytime you guys see like badass intro cinematic shots, half the clips from the intro, the new intro that I made, were filmed by Travis. So we couldn't do it without everyone here. It's a serious, huge team effort. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into this, and it's one big family here. It's really how it is. So I guess we can go over here and check out what we got going on. Another late night, been working all day. It is 11 o'clock, so we're an hour ahead of schedule because we've been filming at midnight lately. And Matt, I don't know how he's still alive. He's been doing wiring for 3 days straight. I got to give it to him. I mean, it's a lot. Thankfully for Matt, when he gets done with this, I'm just going to hit him with like 3 more cars to wire. So he's not going to be able to touch a wrench. Only crimpers and whatever else tools you use. I don't know. I'm not a real big wiring guy. But it's cool to see the end product because it's absolutely sick. So do you want to take it away here and talk to everybody what we got going on?
Yeah. So did a whole harness. We left the VPS harness because I previously did that. Normally when I do a harness, I'll sit there and I'll lay it out, and I'll spend a whole entire day just kind of laying everything out, measuring, figuring out how I'm gonna do my harness. If I'm gonna do a combined engine and chassis harness and split it off, or 2 separate harnesses. So usually what I try to do is go from like J1 and J2, or J1A and J1B. I try to do is the whole engine harness, and then J2 and J2B I try to do is the chassis harness, and then J3 and J4 for any additional stuff. So this car is a little bit different than what I usually do. Usually I'll run like a power distribution module, and it cleans the wiring harness up so much because we had to put some relays in this. So adding the relays for like the starter solenoid and the scavenge pump. Let's see what else we got. The coil power and stuff. With a PDM, you can just do all that. You can do all your harness power through that. So a little bit cleaner, but this car, now we're bare bones. We're super simple. We got toggle switch for the HOLLEY, turn the HOLLEY on, and then you have your injector power, which is also going to be your scavenge pump power. The HOLLEY is controlling the scavenge pump now, so like when you flip the switch on, the scavenge pump will run for 10 seconds.
Right on the dot.
Yep, and it shuts it off. So
and then it comes back on when it sees
Yep, yep. 50 RPM, the scavenge pump starts running, so the scavenge pump's not running all the time. And then he has his boost arm switch there, so he can toggle that on, and that'll. You know.
Also, so like a really cool thing I want to talk about. Obviously, I don't mean to cut Matt off, but everyone knows that I will. We talked about it a little bit. I think we talked about it a little bit when we first went over kind of what we're doing with the rewire of the car. One thing that we did was we removed our janky, floppy power kill switch. If you don't know, all these race cars, they have to have a kill switch on them, and that is just like a main battery disconnect. If you ever get into a wreck, you'll notice a lot of cars, they got a rod sticking out of the back, out of the bumper. You guys come back here, you can see it had this hole, and you don't always hear me say like, hey, can you pull my power? So there was, what was it, like a Moroso battery kill switch. We put one on the Colorado, if you guys remember. We put that back there. It's really a safety thing. If you're in the car and something happens, safety crew gets up to you, you got to be able to kill all power to the car. So you go and you push off. That's why I clapped out. They had these like badass stickers that said whack off, and you hit the damn, what is it, the power essentially, and you kill the power to the car.
I was going to say, it doesn't have to be labeled externally, like you have to say push off, so it was a creative way of saying push off.
It's part of tech. Some tracks, if they're real sticklers on tracks, especially NHRA tracks, you will not go down track if you don't have a kill switch. And it's kind of been like that.
It's got to be pushed off always. It can't be pulled off.
Everyone's always done the same thing. It's just they all had the same rod, they all had the same kill switch, and that's just what everyone did. From badass cars to like, you know, cheap beat up cars, you know, that everyone put that on there. So Chris actually picked up some of these e-stops from Modern Racing, and what that does is now we don't have the whole rod and everything. We just got this handy button. So you got to push power off, you push it off. You got to pull power, you pull it on. Big red button right above our sticker that says, you know, push off, and you're good to go. But what's really cool, if we go back in the car, we have two of them. So we have one in the car and one out of the car. So the days of saying, hey, can you pull my power, are gone, because when I get done with my pass at the top end, you know, shut it off, generally I'd get out of the car, go to grab my parachutes, put my parachutes in the trunk, and I'd push the power off. On the race cars, they don't have alternators. You don't want to leave the battery power on. So we'd go back, Matt would pull the power back on, and he would get the data log out of it, and then he'd push the power back off. We'd let the car charge. We'd go up for the next round. I'd get strapped in the car, ready to go. Everyone walks up to the line, you know, where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of commotion going on, and then I'm in the car yelling, hey, pull my power, pull my power. Well, now with the e-stop, we have the power out the back, which we can just leave on all the time, and anytime I want to kill the power, kills it.
Yep.
So now I'm sitting in the car, they tell you, hey, fire up, power's back on. That right there is just like some next level shit. I mean, it's like, if I turn this on, this is the HOLLEY, you guys will see the dashes on.
Yeah, this is good too, because with it in the external, if there's like a serious problem, you can't turn your power off. So I mean, you'd have to get out of the car to do it. So if John's upside down, he can just whack that and turn the battery power off internally.
Battery power off. Kill switch on the back still stays on. So really the only time that kill switch in the back is going to get pressed is A, if I leave the battery on when we push the car in the trailer, or B, if something bad happens. So now I'm sitting in the car, I'm all strapped in, say, come over the radio, all right, fire it up. I don't have to be like, hey, someone needs to come back and turn my power on. Just turn that right back on. That right there is absolutely awesome. Matt mounted the switches, ran all the wires to the e-stop. That right there to me is like, it's worth its weight in gold. It really is. So
we're pretty close. Tomorrow, right now, the harness is kind of laying in there. We're going to go tomorrow and just spend a good 15-20 minutes. We're going to vacuum it out, clean it out, start zip tying the whole harness, securing it, because I mean, these things, you know, they're subjected to about 3G, you know, hopefully more than that, and it can really take a toll on the wiring harness. I mean, everything wants to pull whenever he launches it, so you really want to secure the harness down, make sure that you don't have anything that's loose and it's going to flop around. So we're going to go in the morning before we go to the track and just really, you know, 2 or 3 of us just take some zip ties and really go through and secure everything. Maybe put some P-clamps down, some of the small plastic ones, to retain the harness, and it should be good. We did add some data. We need to check some of the data. The drive shaft speed. You know, we'll make sure everything's functioning correctly.
Bunch of low dollar motorsports sensors, connectors, everything like that.
We got engine back pressure now, front shock travel. We had some issues with the dome pressure before, so hopefully all the issues with the dome pressure are alleviated now. So I think it's going to be a lot more of a reliable car. So that's the biggest thing is, you know, having a fast car is easy. Having a fast car that can go down every single time without a failure, that's the hard part. So that's what we're trying to get to where we go in and you know, we pull up to the line and the car's going to do the job.
You want to fire it up so they know it runs?
Yeah.
Oh, it runs?
Fire it on.
So if we simplified it, we only got, like Matt said, we got the 3 switches and then the push button start. So turn the Holley on, give it a second. I mean, you could start it now, but I like to let the dash boot up. She's alive.
Runs.
So excited about that. We're back. Matt put in a ton of work on this thing, getting it done. If you guys just come up here and look at the harness, you know, before there was just like wires, you know, everywhere. It was like a stock Holley harness, kind of modified, and now I mean, it's super clean. So I'm very excited about it. Everything is, you know, watertight. I mean, it's here for the long haul now, really. What we're trying to do with this is, you know, we have all these other projects. You don't ever really get done working on them, but if we can get to a point where it's just a little bit of preventative maintenance in between races and stuff like that, we can really focus and knock out a lot of the other cars. You know, Matt and I have discussed, you know, building a car like this and then having to redo a lot of it. You know, it's almost easier to start over, but we're not giving up on the old black sheep. I think this is the, you know, there's a couple little odds and end things left, like catch can and
build some braces for the exhaust
and some little stuff like that, but other than that, we're good to go. So tomorrow morning, we're going to work on this a little bit. Matt's got to get MK Ultra out the trailer, make a couple changes to that. What are you changing on MK Ultra?
I'm going to add a Turbo Smart oil pressure regulator for the turbo, because when the blow-off valve opens, there's some oil residue coming out. It's not smoking or anything. If it is smoking, it's just because it's ingesting a little bit of oil. Scavenge pump system, I'm pretty confident that it's not a scavenge pump system. The car makes around 115 pounds of oil pressure, so I think it's just too much oil pressure. So the Turbo Smart regulator, it regulates it down to 40 psi and then returns whatever back to the oil pan. So I got a little bulkhead fitting I'm gonna put in there and try to do all that tomorrow. Hopefully fix that. Go out and race.
Oh yeah, I'll wash my truck too. Let's look at the trailer now. So
I haven't seen the trailer.
we got the bad apple, like most of the part, back together. I started to clean it up underneath here a little bit. We've been dividing and conquering for sure. And then I washed my truck, got my truck all cleaned up, shined up, tire shine on that. Oh, smart car. Hold on, Travis detailed the smart car. If you guys don't know, when you're running a methanol car, a lot of these cars at the caliber level that we're racing, they have push vehicles. Smart car is a very popular choice because you can still drive it on the street if you have to go to the grocery store, go to the gas station, something like that. Ours has been through the ringer. Ours has never looked this good.
It's not the same car.
This is not the same car. Ours has been... It's been rough. It's been rough. It's been wrecked. It's literally never looked this good. So I mean, look at the inside.
Got a new battery?
You're about to... Oh yeah, put a new battery. It wouldn't crank. Here, crank it up.
Wow.
It's the little things that excite me now. I'm starting to get like an old man. It wouldn't crank before. Like it would crank, but you think the motor's locked up.
Yeah, so it always terrified me because we were at the track. So the transmission sometimes, it's a manual, but it's like a DCT trans. So
it's got a clutch. There's a little guy that lives in the transmission that lets the clutch out for you.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll just go into limp mode and you have to turn the car off. Well, sometimes it doesn't want to crank back. When it does, it just barely cranks. And I know one of those times we were going to be in the lanes and be like, oh, push it up. And then
we're literally going to have to push the smart car pushing the race car.
Yeah. Man, this thing.
I mean, dude, Travis detailed it in and out. I use cherry scented tire shine. I really do. I'm not kidding you. It's the best tire shine out there. This is huge for the racing operation. Then the trailer here, Travis went through and organized the whole trailer. I don't have any of my Pit Pal stuff yet, which I like to deck them out with Pit Pal stuff because it makes them super nice, but got the 450 back, got it all cleaned up. Very excited about that. New front tires, because I kept kept breaking bands. I had these Chinese tires on there, and they just didn't cut it. So we got that. We got the Gen Y hitch all set up, and then we got the brand new 34-foot vintage Pro Stock, which, as you can see, I got a bunch of additional lights up top because I'm like, hell yeah, chicken lights, hell yeah, trucker. And I think it looks great. We're gonna add some more to the bottom because you can never have enough lights, but yeah. And we got the blue lights inside too, so it's like a party in there. I mean, look at that. We're ready to go racing. We can't get out first round with this trailer because then we won't be able to use the blue lights. We need to make it deep into the rounds so we could use the blue lights. It's almost like a reward. We're ready to go. When you guys see this video, we'll be getting ready to pull out the shop. So noon, we're going to be leaving here, heading to Red Springs with MK Ultra and the Black Sheep, and we're going to go make some passes, have some fun. Oh, we're going to be running the car for the first time with the new QA1 carbon fiber drive shaft also. Very excited about that. So a lot of changes to the Black Sheep. Things should be good. Big shout out to Matt for Matt's like our crew chief around here. You know, I rely heavily on Matt making any sort of decisions. Really, we do everything as a group decision now. No one kind of makes anything on their own. We all talk about every single change we do to the cars, and it's a team. Yeah, it really is a team. So there's a lot of people behind the scenes that you guys don't see all the time that contribute a lot. So
Blizzard sitting down.
we set the Blizzard on the ground on the wheels.
Man,
All right,
this will be the first race with this trailer, huh?
First race with this trailer too. Very excited. Try to keep it all in one piece and not mark it. Look at these lights on the outside.
Oh,
dude.
Those are light years better than the other ones.
The other ones weren't bad, but this is daytime.
Oh, yeah.
Matt has this like badass tent set up with all these lights. We could throw that away now. Don't even need it.
He gets to buy this round. John Doc got to buy this round.